Hi everyone, I'm Kristy Jo. I'm here to tell you about my week, moving from 6 weeks out to 5 weeks out before my first competition of 2015 as a natural figure competitor. So those of you who've been following this video log will know the pain and the difficulty I've been experiencing with some detached rib cartilage and spliced. And just a quick update on that. If you are my friend on Facebook, you may have seen my post when we did discover that I was finally able to get into my chiropractor, having been out of town several times. And so his assessment, we have not x-rayed it, so we don't know this for certain. So his assessment was that we had gotten just a little bit of detachment, not enough for surgery, but enough that it's going to take some time to heal, and some, I guess, some splicing in that cartilage there. So as this week went on and I continued to experience the same pain, preventing me, I haven't trained my abs in 2 weeks. I can't run. I can't go on stairs. The only two modes of exercise at this point I can do are the recumbent bike and the elliptical. So I can't do any high intensity training because that's just too much stress on this area. My hip flexor from my rib cage down throughout my low abdomen, even my upper thigh, but particularly everything around that hip is just, wow, painful. I wake up in the night sometimes in tears because I've shifted in my sleep and I'm like stuck and I'm like, this is so painful. So it's been very hard. This has been very hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's been a very challenging, and have I had thoughts of, well, just pull out, just don't compete? And yeah, absolutely. And you know what? No, I've committed to this. I'm going to see it through, and I'm going to show myself. That's all competing or any challenge in our lives, any goal. All this is about is us proving to ourselves that we are strong. We are all strong people. It's when we decide not to be, when we take that route instead of this higher route of let's figure it out. That's where the flaw is in any of us when we give up on stuff. So I'm not going to take that way out. I refuse to, and I'm going to show you all you can do that too. And I'm not talking to compete. I'm saying anything in your life right now that is just too tough, that you're ready to pull the plug on and you don't want to try anymore because everything's going against you. Well, buck up. We all can buck up and say, regardless, let's do this thing. Okay, so that's my goal in sharing this with you. I want you to see that we can overcome struggles. I want you to see that we can be tough. We don't need to be victims of things in our lives. And there's plenty of situations and scenarios where we all can look at our lives and be like, yep, victim, 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 victim. And how many times have we assumed that role? Well, let's stop that. Let's take control. So moving back to this, how I have decided not to be a victim and to do my best, I still get into my gym time. And I was really good this week at every single day. I hit between 30 to 45 minutes of steady state cardio following my lifts. I had some pretty dang good lifts this week. I was very impressed. My strength, due to my scoliosis being on this, like my spine is on this side of my body. So just imagine, you've got your spine. Hopefully your spine is somewhat straight. Most people, I think, I don't know the statistic, but there is like 10 to 15% of people do have some slight scoliosis. So maybe your spine is just a little bit off, mine's a way bit off. So just imagine for me that you have a brick sitting in one side of your back. Imagine that weight pulling on you every day, every day. Every day. It never goes away, even when you're laying down. So regardless of that, I've been able to hit some really nice overhead presses this week. Usually I'm very careful of the weight that's pressing down on that spine. Just imagine if, where's a good example? I don't know, I don't have anything that bends right now. I was going to say, watch this, but just imagine that, you put too much pressure on that, that's going to bust, right? I hope it doesn't bust in my face. Okay. Well, that's what I'm afraid might happen. I'm terrified of the day I lift too much and go paralyzed that way. I just break my spine out. I don't know. Any doctors watching this, let me know, is that possible? I hope not. Anyway, I put up 40s this week. I was really excited about that. Back in my bulking period, I hit 50s at one point. I'm talking dumbbells, 50 in each hand, doing anywhere from 4 to 6 reps per set. But I got 40s up on my own. which that, considering the state of everything, I was really excited about. Got 8 reps, beautiful form, very slow. I don't accelerate, meaning I don't punch up. You know, a lot of people like powerlifters, it's all like, go get it up. But I'm all about control. Hit your perfect 90 degrees, muscle it up. And whenever I'm doing overhead presses, I'm really careful. You want to think simultaneously pushing your shoulder blades down while that weight is over your head, and that's contracting the shoulders that much more. So training has been really good. I'll tell you what, taking 5 grams of creatine with my pre-workout stack, which I build my own, I take 200 milligrams of straight caffeine tablets combined with 1,000 milligrams of L-arginine pills. Let's see, what else do I do? L-arginine, I do 2 grams of niacin, 2 grams of beta-alanine. So I just buy them all individually as a powder or a capsule. 5 grams of glutamine, 5 grams of creatine. I just prefer to build my own stacks rather than purchase a pre-stacked powder. I just feel more comfortable knowing I'm putting exactly those components in my body and not getting any of those proprietary blends where they can throw in all kinds of stuff. So that's what I personally do, but I'll tell you what, that 5 grams of creatine is everything in getting some explosive, awesome lifts. If you are someone who is resistance training and you want to take that intensity up, you need to be doing 5 grams of creatine. That's pretty average, I would say, across the board for women. Women could be 3 grams, 3 to 5, depending on the amount of lifting you're doing. Guys could go higher, but I like that threshold because it allows us to just consistently do that. There's no need to cycle off it because you're not mass loading. So as far as nutrition goes, I had an interesting experience. I went out to dinner actually Friday, and I was very careful what I ordered. I got a salad with some grilled chicken, and there was a little bit of some cheese and some beans on there, and I even held the dressing. Now remember, I just found out a few months ago I'm lactose intolerant. It was just a little bit of cheese, like it wasn't gonna hurt anyone. Like in Power Foods lifestyle lingo, that's a PVF meal, protein, veggie, fat. And so I ate it, it was great, it tasted delicious, not overeating, like literally it was in line with my strategy. It was perfect. And so I go home, I go to sleep, I wake up the next morning, listen to this. My throat had constricted. I could barely breathe. My tongue was twice the size as usual. And I was like, if you've seen the movie Hitch, that part where he eats some food he's allergic to and his face goes all crazy, he's dripping Benadryl and everything. And yeah, that's about how I felt. So that was pretty scary and taught me, I need to be more careful about this, especially because I have been careful to completely pull any lactose from my diet. All of a sudden putting it in there, even in a small amount, could be problematic. So I think that's important for all of us who have food sensitivities, and you are mindful to keep it out. You got to be on guard. Like it's not 99% of the time, or you're going to have some difficulties. So that was a good learning experience for me. Won't be doing cheese again. I'm even at a point, I think I will be swapping out my whey protein. I will be turning to an egg protein for the remainder of my training the next 5 weeks. We'll see. I want to do everything so that stage day, 5 weeks from now, I can look back and say, I don't wonder if I would have just tweaked that, So that'll be good. 4th of July was a little bit tough. I prepped and packed all my meals. I spent about 10 hours with a group of people who didn't know me, didn't know what I did. They knew I was into healthy eating, and they're like, so what do you do? I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. How do I explain this without I don't want to be the weird one in the group. Like, guys, I experience the same thing you do too, okay? People that don't know what I do, I'm not gonna be like, you just need to go online and look at this. So I figured, I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave my cooler in the car. If they don't have food that will fit my strategy, then I will resort to that. But I'm not just going to carry around my cooler. I was like, oh, I don't want to be the weird chick. So I get to this barbecue. I'll be honest, not a single thing in line with what I would eat. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so problematic because I really don't want to be the weird girl right now. So they had pulled pork, croissants, pasta salad, baked beans, no vegetables, and fruit tray. And I was like, oh, son of a, I can't make any of this work. And so honestly, I did, hindsight says I should have just gone and got my food. because I was sick the rest of the night. But I just did a little bit of the pulled pork, no sauce on it, because thankfully they didn't pre-mix it, so no barbecue sauce. And then I did like a 4th cup serving of the pasta salad. So that was technically a P for protein, a C for carbs. I had a little bit of blueberries because I'm like, okay, I know my blueberries are going to treat me okay because I regularly do those. And I just ate very, very, very slow, drank a lot of water, and tried to engage myself in conversation. And tried not to be noticeable when everyone's like seconds and thirds and talking about how full they were. I'm just like eating one blueberry at a time. So I did okay. And then later I went about 6 hours without food and a growling tummy. And I'm like, you know what, just bear it, because I wasn't near my cooler. Stupid. You know, I pack all this food and everything. So we get back to this house where then we're going out to this barbecue pit, like fire pit, whatever. They were going to roast s'mores. And I'm like, well, this is problematic. This is 11 p.m. at night, high sugar. I'm going to not only feel like garbage, this is going to derail my goals for 1 to 2 days. I'm not willing to do that. For the amount of body fat I still have left to shred off for competition, not in the radar, not happening. So, you know, they're passing everything around, and that's when it became a little bit more apparent that I wasn't going to be eating a s'more. So I had brought my cooler, and I had prepped a grass-fed beef patty with a 90% leanness, and I brought a bunch of green leaf lettuce, and they actually had some ketchup. So I just made myself a bunless hamburger with ketchup, and very little ketchup, but still some ketchup. And I just ate that, and then of course the question came, so are you like on a diet? Like, oh, internally, how do I handle this? And I said, actually, no, I'm just living a lifestyle that I teach people for my job. So, you know, you got to walk the walk, right? Like, I'm not a hypocrite. And she's like, oh, really? So then she's like, well, like, what do you teach people? I said, well, let me tell you 2 types of meals, PVC, PVF, and how they work. So this technically is a PVF because this is protein, and as it's red meat, has a little bit higher fat percentage. So that accounts for our P and our F. I wrapped it in some green leaf lettuce, so that's the V. So this is a PVF meal. I'm going to help my body balance its blood sugar, help promote good brain and heart health. It's just going to help my body feel good. And that's what I eat this way for, not as a diet. She's like, oh, I've never heard of that before. I'm like, well, you should check it out, you know? So anyway, I made it through the 4th of July, getting on my ball game. You know, there's going to be no more of that. There's just, when you're 5 weeks out, like I honestly, again, I probably should have just eaten my food and been the weird girl, but I kind of wanted to impress the people I was with and not let them think I was weird. So anyway, we all go through that social weirdness there. So hopefully you learn from my mistakes. Depending, again, it all depends on how quickly do you want to get to your goal, right? So I have a deadline on mine, obviously. Water is going really well. My supplementation is going really well. I do 5 grams of glutamine pre-workout, 30 minutes pre-workout. And then if I work out in the morning, I do another 5 grams of glutamine towards the evening. Or if I work out towards the evening, I do it in the morning. So I have a 5-gram glutamine serving that is at the opposite time of day as my workout. I do BCAAs, branch chain amino acids, during my workout, as well as one other time opposite the workout. So just wanted to put those amino acids flush in your body so that as your body's resynthesizing, stripping down, all these processes going on, that there's always some amino acids there to buffer the muscle, protect the muscle as the fat loss is occurring, to help give you the balance and stability for continual great workouts in the future. It's all about optimal balance of your body at all times. So getting these habits in place prevents problems from occurring. So I'm loving my eggs, eating a lot of legs, that's gross, eggs. So just, oh, I got my rhinestones actually. So I paid for a custom suit to be made and a simple design. And I'd rather pay myself in time to adhere the rest of the rhinestones, rather figure suits can get expensive. I paid $350 for mine. Yeah, $350, you heard me right. Yeah, and that's on the cheap side. So then I found a discounted rhinestone Swarovski crystals. They're the most beautiful, shiny crystals. So I found a discounted store online, and the clearance, I was able to call, show them my suit. So we were able to find the perfect color. So I got the shipment. So I will be decorating that in the next few weeks. That'll be fun to be adding to the design. the last thing I want to talk about is just the fear of leanness. The fears that start to set in at this point are very real. And yes, even I deal with them, because at this point in doing what I do, I won't lie that I go to do well. You know, I go to these competitions to come out the best I can be. I am not someone that goes and checks out my competitors. I refuse to go there, because it doesn't matter what I see. Is that going to change my body? No, nope. So I focus on me. I'll send in my registration for the competition pretty much on the deadline before the late fees apply. So maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, in terms of scoping out competition, I don't even do it. I don't even care who shows up that day. I won't know until the competitor's meeting the night before, because I can't control them, but I control me. So in terms of, I want to do my best, I'm being very careful of when I do feel fearful, oh, am I going to be lean enough? That's the time to not let fear be a part of me, but to say, what in my behavior needs to dial in even that much more so I can eliminate this fear and know that I'm doing everything in my power. So in order to overcome that this week, I've actually asked one of my coaching team members to coach me through this. I felt it would be a good experience for her in learning the contest prep approach. And I'm really excited to work with her. And so, yeah, I just think it'll be a good experience both ways around. It'll give her a good learning opportunity to bounce things off me, you know, with the knowledge I have, but at the same time, I'm the competitor at the same time. So it's going to work more as this communication experience for us. So I am just really excited for what the next 5 weeks are going to be. And we're going to push hard. So I'm not going to tell you what craziness is coming, because she's about to send me my plan right now. And I told her, you push me the hardest you know how that I can handle. So I'm excited to get my plan. I told her I'll be your most compliant client ever. So we'll see what she's got up her sleeve for me. And yeah, I'm really excited. So come what may, with rib cartilage, whatever, pain, you know, obviously you don't push yourself to the point of creating more injury, but you don't use it as a pity party point. And I see that a lot in people. Oh, I was tired today. Like the excuses out the wazoo. I don't even have anything to say to that other than like, come on guys, buck up. I hate to sugarcoat, because we get enough of that from ourselves when we choose excuses. Like, it's okay because you were tired. No, it's not. You wouldn't be as tired if you worked out. You wouldn't be so moody and so tired and so in so much pain and feel so yucky if you ate right. So we got to find a break in our cycles of our lives. I just realized I have this ugly box behind me. Great scenery. I should clean my office. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to upload this video. Today is the 3rd anniversary of Body Buddies. 3 years ago today, I just sat down on my computer. A lot of people thought that I was really self-absorbed and in this whole competition thing, and I was like, no, I'm not. Am I? I'll admit I was a little bit at that point. It's been a process. I think it's a process for anyone. And I wanted to share with others what I was learning. Then I thought maybe they won't think I'm so self-absorbed. Maybe they still do. I don't know. I don't think I'm self-absorbed. I think I'm focused. I think I know what's right for me. But I think at this point, through this process of creating Body Buddies and being able to help so many people, I have genuinely grown, because this was not intrinsic to me. I did not innately have this love for people. I don't think I did. I had a love for dancers. I loved teaching dance. But at this point, I literally feel like my heart has grown, that I just look at people and I see the best that they can be. I see what their potential is. I see that there's someone inside of them just screaming for help. So when people come to me and say, I'm so embarrassed, I don't want to show you my pictures, I say, show them to me. It's okay. We're all weak. We're all flawed. And this is so exciting that we all get to improve. And we get to find these ways to just do a little better and to go a little harder. And we stop letting the past define us. And we focus on the future with a happy soul and heart and look to serve other people and find who we are. And in that process, we grow, we change. I'm a different person than I was 3 years ago. I'm a different person than I was a year ago. We're all ever evolving. And it's through those baby steps, those positive thoughts, through looking at our obstacles that, gosh, you know what, last week just kind of was rough, so I've got to strategize. How can I overcome this instead of accepting our failures as eternal flaws? And say, no, it's just something to overcome, and now is my time to prove my strength. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity in my life to overcome my personal challenges and a lot of the challenges I don't talk about on YouTube. You know, like we all have so many challenges and obstacles that come our way. And this video is forever long, but I feel it's very important, if you have watched it up until this point, that you take a look inside today and you say, who can I become? And you stop letting fear hold you back from that, or past failures, or any limitations. And you say, regardless, wipe it clean. We're going to erase all that. And we're starting fresh today, and we are going to set ourselves up for baby steps for progress in the future. And that's all changes. That's all life is. And I love that. So I hope you're pumped up. I'm pumped up. Go write down your goals. One for mindset, one for nutrition, one for fitness, one for spiritual. All 4 of these compartments of our lives, they come together to create this synergy, this excitement, this motivation inside of us that we can do anything we want. And I will throw in there my personal beliefs. I believe with a little bit of help from above as well, and including the big man who knows more than us, and including him in our goal setting. Today's the Sabbath, so I can include this. It makes all the difference. So if he, for you, is someone who plays a part in your life, include him in your goals. I promise you, it will change your life. Love you all. Take it one meal, one workout, one day at a time.